What's up everybody, Teancum here with Sew Yeah Quilting. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how you make this way, that way strip quilt. Let's get started. Before we dive right into this project is a jelly roll friendly project. It takes 20 strips to make the center pieces here and some borders all the way around. Something that Sew Yeah does, I just want to let everyone know because I'm not sure if everyone knows, we make custom jelly rolls. They're on our website. If you'd like to check them out, the link is in the description below. Let's dive right on into the project. As you can see, I've already gone ahead and pre-cut my jelly roll down. So I took my 20 pieces and I cut all my 20 pieces directly in half. They should be roughly 21 to 22 inches wide. The reason why there's a little bit of discrepancy here is at the end is when we square everything up, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that later on. So what I'm going to first do is I'm going to take two strips and I'm going to lay them right sides together, but only the very ends, just like so. It does matter which way we sew these and which way we put the fabric down on our strips here. For instance, if I sew from this corner to this corner and I open this up, I want to slide this down so everyone can see what I'm talking about. We can see that the bottom of the line goes upwards to the right. And if we do it this way, and we sew from this corner to this corner, you can now tell that it's the exact opposite. The bottom right goes upwards towards the left. So what we have to make sure is that we have 10 strips sewn where the bottom is going from left to right, and 10 strips sewn that the right is going to the left. So on this particular piece, I'm going to just start out by sewing it this way. I'm going to use my top left corner, I'm going to use my top right corner and sew all the way down to my bottom left corner, having my miter look just like so. So I'm going to do that right now. So right there, that is my first sew strip, and let me make sure you can see it. Obviously I still need to iron this, I need to cut it, but I want to show you what our next step is. We're going to take our next piece of fabric, I'm going to line it up right, oh I got that on backwards. We're going to line it up with our next piece so we know which way our angle needs to go next. I always like to see it before I actually sew it. So if I put it on just like so, and I do the exact same thing, so from my top right to my bottom left, we don't have the right angle going on here. So what will have to happen is I'll have to lay it down with my long strip going towards the top. So from the bottom right to the top left, which will then give me my miter which matches the other side. So I'm going to do that right now. Take this over to the sewing machine and sew that miter on there. And then I'm going to just double check to make sure everything lines up. And it does, which is great. So I'm going to show you what our next step is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this excess off. We can do this with a pair of scissors. I prefer a rotary cutter and ruler. If I can find my rotary cutter, here it is. And all I'm going to do is cut 1/4 inch away from my seam, just like so. And then I'm going to take it over to my ironing board and iron this, but I'm going to do it to both pieces so that way I can show you exactly what I've got going on here. Again, you're more than welcome to do this with a pair of scissors, but I prefer the rotary cutter. That's just me though. So I'm going to put that away now. And I'm going to iron my seams always to the darker side here. Now that we have our two pieces sewn, trimmed up, and ironed, it's time to put them together. Very simple to do. I'm gonna pull out some Wonder Clips here. The most important thing about this project is that all of these points all the way down line up. As long as we focus on that, everything will turn out great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my points here. I'm going to lay them right on top of each other. And I'm going to use some Wonder Clips to pin them together. I'm going to use a trick that I learned that I picked up along the way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew about maybe 1.5 inches right over that seam. Open up my project to see if I'm on point or not before I sew the whole strip. That way I don't sew my whole strip and realize, oh crap, I was off by a very, very small amount, but that small amount really matters on this project. So now I'm going to take this over here and I'll show you what I mean. So I just sewed, I don't know how big that is, that says it's 2 inches. So when I open this up, I can see how close my point is. And you can see here, I'm the tiniest bit off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this real quick, re-sew it to make sure I'm dead on point, and then sew my whole strip together. So I'm going to try that again to make sure I am dead on. Again, I'm going to open it up. And this time, I'm not sure how well you can see that in the camera, I am dead on the mark. So now I know I can just start from one end and work my way all the way down. And if there's a little bit, as you can see here, I've got a little bit of excess coming out the top here. That's okay, because once we're sewing all our pieces together, we're going to trim it all off and make everything the same size. So now that I've got this one strip completely sewn together, we just have to do that step over and over again until we have the amount that we want. On this project, I've got 20 strips. You can do it with 40 if you like, but this is just a 20 strip project, which I've already gone ahead and sewn some of these together. I want to show you how you attach them to your project. I'm going to lay this right sides together. And we're going to make sure that seam is right on point, right where we need it to be. Pin that closed. Take it over to my sewing machine, sew a little bit of it just to make sure I get my point where I need it to be, and then we'll check it. Take this over here so I can show everyone. Make sure I am on point, which dead on. So I'm going to sew the rest of this all the way down. And again, if you have a little bit excess sticking out the top or on the bottom, it's okay. We'll trim this all up at the end. Now on over to the ironing board, I'm going to iron this open. So before we wrap up this video, I just want to show you what I mean. As you can see here on this last strip, it hangs over about, I don't know, 1/2 inch there, which is just okay. What we're going to do is we're going to trim this off flush with the rest of the quilt. So I'm going to grab my ruler and trim it. The only thing that really matters is to make sure all of our points stay on point the whole way through. So just like that, that is trimmed up. I'm gonna check the other side just to make sure. And I've got a little bit of hangover here, not very much. In the instructions down in the description below, we're gonna show you how you put 10-inch borders all the way around the quilt so it looks just like this one. But let me just hold it up so you can see what this top looks like. So what I'm going to do is finish this up by putting those 10-inch borders all the way around. Then I'm going to take it across the building to our in-house log armor to have this quilt finished. If you've liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't be afraid to share it with your friends. Again, we're going to leave instructions on how to make this down in the description below. My name's Teancum, teaching you how to sew like a pro. We'll see you here next week at Sew Yeah Quilting.